create stories, things we shouldn't say, but we're gonna laugh about them anyway. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. With a wild tale to tell, from the road, the stage, or a barroom hell. The crowd's getting loud and the stories get strange. Every single night the chaos rearranges. No scripts here, just the truth and the laughs, and maybe a roast if you cross Glick's path. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Whoa, tell us how it went down. Whoa, at Glick's Comedy Lounge. Late nights, loose minds, stories all around. You're hanging out tonight at Glick's Comedy Lounge. Hey, welcome to Glick's Comedy Lounge, where the jokes go wild and the laughs get loud. Hey, pull up a seat, stay all night long. Tell a crazy story, sing along to the song. Whoa, tell us how it went down. Whoa, at Glick's Comedy Lounge.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? That's such a goofy song, and let's just play again because it's my first time here. But what's going on, everybody? Happy Hump Day! Welcome to the Nonsensical Network and Glick's Comedy Lounge. A little comedy unleashed for you. Always hanging out with some funny comedians, and that's not different tonight. But before we get to that, if you guys aren't already, go ahead and check us out everywhere. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Bio.link / Nonsensical Network. Man, it really is my first day on the job. Go ahead. All of our social medias are there. Everywhere you can find us, everywhere you can listen and watch and, keep up with all the things we're doing around here, because I can't most days. But enough about us. Enough about me. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We got a very funny young lady joining us tonight and she's got a very special co-host who might be my new best friend before the end of the night. Miss Hannah Abney is coming to hang out with us. What's going on?
Hello. I love that intro song. That was fun.
So goofy. I just needed something, and I was like, I can jot something down. And, I abuse the English language every day for the last 45 years. So I scribbled some stuff down, some thoughts and ideas, and said, hey, ChatGPT, whatever. correct my grammar and make this sound right.
I love that. I just realized you said used the English language. I thought you said abused the English
No, I
language.
said abuse. I said abuse.
Okay, cool. And I was like, I feel like we all have. Sorry, puppy. This is Paxi. Paxi.
Hi, girl.
She's a big
Oh,
comedy
bloopers.
fan. And by comedy fan, she's a fan of mommy. Mwah. I love you too.
She's making a debut.
Yes.
We love the doggos, all the animals here on the Nonsensical Network. They're always welcome. I do want to say thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your evening and coming and hanging out with me. I couldn't do this show without you. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. So
Thank you for having me. It's funny you say that. I say that at the end of every show when I host a stand-up show because it's like the same thing with our live audience. You know, it's like that's the beauty of the art of stand-up comedy is you can't do it without an audience. Otherwise, you're just schizophrenic. You know, so like, she agrees. You need people to hear your ideas and laugh with you.
Yeah. No, I get to, if I start talking to myself again, I'll get to go hang out with my friends and at the old, at my old home.
They have subsidized medicine. No, okay.
Lovely, all white padded rooms.
Amazing.
Treat you like royalty. Bring in your meals.
The walls. You can just have a good time.
It's a fun place.
By the way, are you having Pepsi instead of Coke?
I am.
Fuck yeah, I love that. I grew up on Pepsi. My dad and I would call it black gold, like liquid gold. I grew up in California, and then I moved to Texas, and I was like, oh, that's just oil. We would call Pepsi oil. We were like loving it. We were obsessed. It's like my mom's a granola mom, like in California in the 90s. And so like anything with sugar was like a big fucking deal. So us getting to have like a Pepsi was like, whoa.
That is the nectar of the gods, as I like to say.
Love Pepsi. I'm obsessed with Pepsi, especially when it's like sort of frozen and not.
Yeah. We were out of town a few weeks back, and I got way too excited for this because you go, and I'm sure you've experienced this being a comic. You go on the road, you stay in a hotel. You never know what that fridge is going to be like in the hotel. Is it going to be a refrigerator? Is it going to be a microwave? You don't know. And we'd come and drop some stuff off, and went down to the pool with my son for a little bit, and I came up and I grabbed a Pepsi out of there, and I was like, well, it still feels cold. That's good. And I cracked it open and took that first drink, and it had that little bit of layer of like slush on top. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a good fridge, and it's going to be a good weekend.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. I am a fan of the colder, the better. But it's literally all I drink. I should probably mix in more water, but yeah. What are you
That's your coffee. I always joke that I just drink caffeinated water. Like, I want to be at the point where I'm doing comedy for a living, like full time, and I'm doing comedy. I'm doing well, but it's not like paying my bills, right? And so my day job is I wait tables and I bartend. And I joke that my bar back, like he knows me. He's like my spirit Guatemalan. Like he just knows me. Like, and he's always accosting me. Like he'll come on shift to be like, Hannah, how many coffees have you had? And it's always like I had at least like 3 or 4. And he does like the sigh of like, like he's like judging, but not too much. But he's like, hey, don't do this. But I drink so much coffee, so I'm right there with you. I need to drink more water.
I try to. I really do. It's just
water's in Pepsi. It's in coffee. This is how we lie to ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. No. So, how long have you been doing the comedy thing?
Yeah, it's complicated. Like, so first time I ever got on stage was 2012. I grew up in California, and then I moved to New York when I was 18 for acting school. And my first ever job was at a comedy club. And so that's how I found out what stand-up I grew up watching Sex and the City, by the way. I was obsessed. Carrie Bradshaw, that bitch. That's the reason I moved to New York. I was like, oh my God. And then you get there and you're like, fuck you. You can't wear Dior and like work 1 day a week and just eat takeout noodles every night. Like this
they lied to you.
Yeah, she fucking lied. But I was there, and my first job was at a comedy club, and that's how I found out about stand-up. Because like I'd seen like Miranda on a really bad date at a comedy club on the show. And if you know the show, you know what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, I never want to do that. That's awful. Then I worked at a comedy club, and then I found out about stand-up, and I ended up doing their stand-up class there. And so I started doing like the new talent nights and stuff like that. And I would start, like early 20s, like figuring out who I am. And my parents are both like older, so they never had the internet. And I've always been like more blue in my comedy style, so I'm a little bit more inappropriate. I talk, I swear. I talk more about like sexual stuff. And my mom, I knew I was irrelevant when my mom stopped Googling me. When I first started doing comedy, my mom would Google me. Like she'd hear that I had like a sketch show, and if you're in the industry and stuff, you know that like just because you have a show, like it's nice that you're working and you have a flyer, but it doesn't mean that it's actually like a big deal. You know what I mean? And but my mom would just see that and be like, she'd call me from California and just be like, "Why am I not invited to your show, Hannah? Hannah, you got to give me. I'll fly and see it." And it's like, that's so sweet, but also, Mom, it's in the basement of a Pizza Hut. Like, don't. And but so like my mom like found some of my stuff and she sends it to my dad, and my dad's like, "Oh hell, Hannah, it looks disgusting, And so I was just starting all the time. And so I like first time I ever hit a comedy stage was 2012, but I don't really count my time there because I wasn't serious, like I would do the thing a lot of people do when they start off, or a lot of people who are like coming from a background of like sketch or like straight acting like me, where it's like you do a comedy show, like an open mic once a week. And you're like, I'm a comedian. And anyone who's a real comedian is like, that's not what it is. But I do that on and off, start on and off forever. And I moved to Houston in 2020, and then I got on stage in Houston in 2023. And I've been like hitting the ground running since then. Like I've been on stage, gosh, minimum 3 to 5 nights a week, every week since then. So I only say like 3 years, but technically speaking, I've, been in the comedy world a lot longer. But I only really count my experience in terms of when I was really taking it serious.
Yeah.
If that was your question.
You were dabbling.
I was dabbling, exactly. Yeah.
Dipping your toes in the water in the early years. Yeah. No, that's crazy. I mean, what's going on, Chattersbox? We see you guys. How y'all doing? Chat over there saying hey to everybody.
Love it.
No, it's now in Houston. I've had some people on from Texas. Is the scene pretty good out there in Houston? Obviously, you're on the stage 3 to 5 nights a week, so that's damn near a full-time job in itself.
Yeah, I mean, the Houston comedy scene is really awesome. It's been growing a lot. We've got the Improv is like a staple that's been around here. Riot Comedy Club is getting a new venue. There's Houston Comedy Club that just opened. Punchline just opened maybe almost 2 years ago now.
Wow.
And then we have a lot of like independent rooms. So Houston's a great scene. Something I like about Houston is how diverse it is. And like, California's diverse, New York's diverse, any major city is diverse. But what I mean in terms of diversity is like, it's so spread out. Like Houston's 600 square miles.
Yeah.
And when I first moved from New York, this was before I was doing comedy. I was teaching yoga. It was during the pandemic. And I was just like I was doing private sessions at people's homes. And my boyfriend at the time was like, "You're fucking crazy," because I'd get a gig and they'd be like, "Oh, 6 miles from the apartment." I'd be like, "No biggie," because commuting in from Queens to like Manhattan, I'm like, that's got to be several miles, right? And so, dude, and then you're driving and it's like, oh my God, how did like 5 miles take me 45 fucking minutes? Just because of how spread out the city is. And so, so that's a nice thing. I mean, it can make it difficult in terms of hitting multiple spots a night, but it's really nice in terms of diversity because it's like, hey, you're in Houston, but you're like, you can be in the metro city, like where it's like, like denser in terms of like the actual city itself, but then you can be further out in the burbs and you're still in Houston. And so you get to put your material in front of a very wide audience.
You get so many different types of people, and people from different classes, even,
and views and different viewpoints. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I love that. And so it's like, like playing to any group, and like, will this dick joke hit? And whatever the joke is, but yeah.
No, that's awesome. Is it now doing as many shows as you're doing, and in that area throughout the week? Are you constantly always writing, or are you using same material?
That's a great question. I'm trying to find the balance. When I first started, and the mistake I think a lot of newer comics do is you just get up and you're like, let me talk about this thing that I'm excited about and see what happens. And a lot of it is like the writing is important, obviously, but then also the energy behind the delivery of a joke. And so when something's like new and exciting or more fresh, it's gonna land better than after you've done it like 10,000 times, right?
Yeah.
But so part of the art is having that same joke and making it hit the same time every single time.
Yeah.
So when I first started doing it in Houston, and like I'll do this sometimes at open mics, it's like, okay, well, what am I excited about? What just happened? What do I think is funny? And I just start talking about it, and it goes great. And then you try to bring it to a show, and you're like, oh, but this killed it, this open mic. And then it just bombs. And so when I'm doing open mics, I've been trying to find the balance of like, because there was a time where I was going out, like I'd work a 12-hour shift at the bar, and then I'd go to an open mic right after. And then the next morning, everyone jokes I'm Jamaican because I have like so many jobs. Like I stand up, I teach yoga to senior citizens, I bartend, I wait tables. I'm really bad with my money. So, but hey, if you ever want to go out and have a good time and have someone be like, no, this round's on me.
I got you.
Hi, hit me up in Houston. I'm awful. My boyfriend will be so mad. He's like, get your credit together. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's just a number.
I don't have 14 jobs for nothing. I got this.
1,000%. No, I have a truck payment. It's crazy. I'm 5 foot with a truck. Whatever. But the sales guy was so hot. But so I digress. When I'm at open mics, I'm trying to go out less, but be more intentional when I do go out. Where I'm going out because I want to work this bit, and there's like whatever areas I want to tweak. Because for a while I was going out, I was kind of burning myself out. Where I was like, I just got to get up as much as I can, and then after a while I was like, okay, cool, I'm getting practice stage time, but what am I actually working on in terms of material? And when I do a book show, especially a weekend show, and like, the audience is paid, I'm getting paid, that's when I'm doing my material that I know works. So I am doing the same material. I'm trying to get better at like throwing in maybe one new joke a set for myself, because I personally have a bad habit of having like a lot of stuff I'm working on and just never feeling like it's good enough for a show. You know what I mean? But if it's getting laughs at an open mic consistently, after a while you got to try and bring it to a show. So if that answers your question. I do think ultimately though, it's like everyone kind of has to find out who they are, and not only who you are, but where you are in your process. Right? Like for a while, the thing for me was just getting up on stage as often as I could. And I think the real practice in that for me, and what I needed, was getting comfortable and confident on stage. Whereas like now, unless I'm having like a really bad night, like I'm really tired, maybe I'm getting over being sick, something's off, I go on stage even if I haven't been up in a couple of nights, and I feel confident because I've been up so much. And so now like the practice and what I'm working on when I go on stage is different.
Exactly.
What do you want to work on when you go on stage?
Yeah, right. And doing this show, and I'm learning, talking to the comedians that have been on, a lot of them are saying, those first 5 years, is a lot of learning, your stage presence, learning your team, learning how to be on stage and all that. And like you just said, and I always ask, for you brought up the open mics. Do you enjoy doing them, or is it more like, I guess I gotta, because as a comedy fan, I've gone to open mics, and sometimes it's like, if somebody don't get this jerk off stage, I'm going to choke slam him because his 4 buddies in the corner need to stop lying to him. He needs a real win. But
well,
then
I have a wicked sense of humor. I say wicked to the Boston people if you have any of them. But I don't know. I feel like it's like your first 5 years is like 18 to 23. It's like you're young, you're dumb. You haven't got herpes yet, but you might. And just figuring out what you like and what your style is, you know? It's like just getting into dating, right? And so do I like going to open mics? Sometimes I do. It depends on my mood. It's kind of like anal, I guess. Sometimes I do. Depends on who's in the crowd. Depends on who's running it. Depends on what I'm working on, right? Sometimes I'm like, man, I really don't want to fucking go to this open mic. And I think that's where I'm trying to find the balance. Because when I was first starting off, and when you are just starting off, half the battle is the hang. And but especially if you're like, I'm in my 30s now, when you're older, the hang sucks because it's a bunch of 20-somethings that are all like, I'm autistic. And it's just so annoying. And I'm like, I don't think you're autistic. I think you just got beat as a kid and you don't know how to deal with it. And that's okay. But, it's fine. But sorry, I'm awful. Tell me to shut up. It's okay.
No, you trust me. You fit right in here on this network.
Whatever, I don't really care what you are or how you are. Just be funny about it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just be funny about it. But it's hard. But part of and I knew this. I heard this a lot because I started the first time I ever got on stage. I was 20. But I heard a lot of it was the hang. And that is a big part of it when you're just coming up. It's not necessarily even being funny right off the bat. It's just hanging out at shows, at open mics, after shows, so people know you, they know who you are. Because a lot of the people that are going to be booking you when you're just starting off and you're not funny yet are your friends who get a room. They're going to run to the ground because they're booking you because they're your friend and you're not funny. But in the meantime, you're getting stage time, right? And that's the whole thing is you want stage time. And the real clubs you're not even on their radar until you've been in the game a minimum of 5 years. Yeah. I know clubs that they won't even consider looking at you unless you've been doing stand-up for 7 years. Because so many people start and then they stop. Just like I did, right? So many people, anyone can say, oh, I'm a comedian. But if you're a major club and you've got a name behind you and you've got big national touring acts, why do I need to give you the time of day if you're not serious about this, right? Yeah, exactly. So people that are serious about it. So, do I like going to open mics? Sometimes, yeah, it depends on the mics. Actually, it was funny because you were saying you're a musician. Some of my favorite open mics are the music mics, and I don't say where they are or what they are because the comics come and they ruin it. Because the comics come and they want the musicians and the music crowd to be a comedy crowd. And you're right. And a music crowd is like you're jamming, you're having a killer set. I'm talking throughout your entire set. I don't even know what you look like, but I've been like, this is a great fucking beat, right? Because that's what music is. But stand up, you need to be quiet and you need to laugh and give me your attention.
Yeah, if I'm going to see a concert, I'm drinking, I'm hanging out. I probably went with some friends. Right? I don't want some idiot to go, hey, I got some dick jokes to tell you. No, bring the band back out because that's why I'm here.
But if you're an open mic, right? An open mic's rehearsal. If you're a music open mic and you're going to give me as a comedian time on your stage, A, I'm super grateful, but B, I love it because I tend to get more time because music open mics give you more time because musicians get more time because a song is 4-ish minutes, whereas a stand-up open mic is 3 to 5 minutes. So if I go to a music mic, I could get the equivalent of 3 mics in one set. But the audience probably isn't listening to me. So I have to, and if I'm really, really funny, then they do, but I have to know that coming in. But I love the music mics, but I don't ever tell the other comics because a lot of them will come and they get mad at the audience because the audience is the music crowd. Yeah. So they're not listening, they're having a great time and they'll tell you good job after your set, but they're not going to laugh during it because they're not listening during it. necessarily, unless you're really funny.
It's a different mindset when you go to a, if you're going out to see comedy, and I speak on a fan's perspective because I don't do either. I'm just a guy who enjoys comedy and enjoys music.
I saw that I was like, this guy has a bass guitar.
I really don't. No, I'm just a fan. I'm a big nerd when it comes to the entertainment world. I mean, I do this. So it's kind of my way of being in the entertainment world with podcasting. But God, I have no desire to get up on stage and talk to somebody or talk to a crowd or sing a song.
Yeah. So what's the most interesting thing that like a performer, like a stand-up has like said in terms of the art of comedy that you like has stuck with you?
Oh man.
Just curious for myself. Like,
probably the biggest thing is, because this is something I struggle with, but probably the biggest thing that, and a lot of them say it because I don't like to get up in front of crowds and talk. Stage fright, whatever it is, I have done it. And it's always great. And I always get that adrenaline, but just do it. You can't be afraid. You just got to get up there and do it. Yeah. I had one guest who's like, you should try stand up. And I'm like, that's the last thing anybody wants. I got like one really good story, and I'm not Bert Kreischer, so I'm not going to be able to make a living off of one story. And I'm not really good at writing jokes. Just sometimes shit happens.
Yeah. That is the truth, though, right? With any art, I want to say, or any endeavor you really want to do, is just fucking do it. Mm-hmm. Literally, just do it. Because I was talking with a friend who's also a comic. He's talking about like a vision he has for his show. It's also easier said than done because I'm queen of overthinking. But like, just do it. You literally just have to do it. You just have to do it. Like anytime I produced a show, and even now it's like I produced a show in June. It was great. And I'm like making a big deal about like, I got to find a new venue. It's going to be just great. It's like, just set the date and just fucking do it. And just do it, and like everything will fall into place, and it's either going to work or it's going to be a disaster, and that's okay. But you just have to do it, because there's nothing like just doing it. You have to just do it.
No, and I'm guilty of saying that to people. Just stop talking about it. Be about it. And I had that mindset once upon a time with podcasting. I talked about it for years, and I finally had a friend go, dude, when are you going to just do it? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I should stop talking about it. I should just be about it. So then, it wasn't great. I sometimes debate going back and deleting like the first 4 years because there are some doozies out there. But then it's like, no, because I can look back at that and go, 4 or 5 years ago, we were a bunch of jackasses. And now we're jackasses one night a week. And not 3 nights a week. And the rest of the week, I actually have shows that are content driven, which is great.
Well, and it shows your progress too, right? Because it's like, there's a saying, it's like success happens overnight, but it doesn't happen overnight, but it looks like it happens overnight, right? Like the Tom Hollands or Zendaya is like the A-list celebs where everyone's like, oh my God, where'd this person come from? They just came on this show and like, whoa. But they've been at it for like years, and then just finally somebody like they got an opportunity and like bam, and now you know who they are. And so it's like, if you look at, I'm sure same with your page or anyone's YouTube page, if you go back and they've got all these followers, you go back to the very beginning, it's god awful, and that's it.
And I learned and I realized, like, we're habitual line crossers. How we are not canceled, I don't know, because there's no topic that's off limits with us. And now, it's like, all right, we're a little bit more mature. YouTube's going to give us a little bit of money now. Okay, now we got to play by their rules a little bit. But a few weeks back, we were on our Saturday night show. We were barely 5 minutes into the show, and we were already making anal jokes and talking about anal. And one of the guys in the chatters box is like, well, this is probably a new record for Saturday night, 5 minutes in, and we're already talking about anal. It's going to be a night.
I'm so sorry. That was me. I'm literally up here making those.
Oh, no, you're right on par with the. There's a reason why it's called the now we tiptoe the line, and sometimes we jump across it just a little bit, just to let people know, hey, we're still not right in the.
Who is,
Yeah.
who is? I do a lot of like the yoga and like crystal, like meditation, like life coach, like spiritual stuff. And for the longest time, because I started doing comedy, and then I stopped, started, and I was always having like restaurant jobs, like waitress. Like I never had like a full-time day job, and a lot of it was because I was like, oh, I got to keep my schedule open for like a comedy gig or something. But I wasn't doing the thing. But I kept myself available for years, but I wasn't doing the thing, right?
Yeah.
And which, like, I think people take for granted how much that personally hurts you and your own confidence and your own psyche when you're telling yourself and you're telling everybody else that this is what you are and this is what you care about, but then you're not actually acting on it. But I was working. I would do these like Reiki. If you don't know just think like sana colita de rana for white people. Okay. Like it's just like, lady, and she just breathes heavy and puts her hands on you and like Dragon Ball Z's the energy out. I always say on stage, it's Dragon Ball Z for women. Okay. If you're into anime, but I would do all these exercises. And for the longest time, I'm paying these women that I've met online like hundreds of dollars to just agree with me and be like, we're getting ready to be ready. I'm ready to be ready, to like, and be ready to like, just take the step and do the fucking thing. Right. And I got to a point where like, literally I had this spiritual lady who sounded like Mickey Mouse. Like she was very like, like, oh my God. And it's like soft spoken. And she's like screaming at me after reading my cards and just being like, you are a divine being. Why can't you understand that? And she's having like a breakdown because she just can't get through to me. It's ridiculous. But I think, like, I don't know. I feel like you have to find like a little whimsy in it. Like we're all on our own journey. And whatever you're meant to do, whatever you really desire to do, because I think we put a lot of emphasis on on meaning. But whatever you actually really, really want to do, you're going to do, whether you say you're meant to or not. So whatever it is you really, really, really want to do, you're going to do if and when you're ready. And that's it. And God willing, you'll be ready in this lifetime.
I'm a firm believer. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. You said you do the yoga and the crystals and all that stuff, but then like on the complete polar opposite flip side of the coin, you do the stand up. And
and I down tequila and my Guatemalan barback knows when I've had too much to drink because he'll come in and be like, I am the pinche borracha. See, and I'm like, oh, lo siento. But that's the thing. That's the beauty in it, right? We're all human beings, and we're all so diverse. Like, and I think this, like, the blessing in social media is that we can all be more connected than we ever could be, and we all have more access to creating and making it more easy in terms of like, back when I was growing up, and I'm sure you too, is like you needed like a big production studio or a big budget to think about podcasting or having anything out there. So that's a blessing. But on the flip side, it's like people want to put each other in this one box. Like you're just this, you're just that. And it's like so many aspects to every individual. And so I just think treat life like improv. Yes. And yes, I meditate and I do yoga and I have the tequila shits maybe.
Yeah. And I just spent the night doing dick jokes,
Like, yes. And I meditate with a bunch of ladies at a senior center, and I go up and I say some really terrible things that I'm trying to make funny on stage. Like
Shrek said, I'm like an onion, many layers.
100%. Yeah. Absolutely, many layers. That's why, sometimes people are sweet, sometimes they make you cry.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I get that. That's the cool thing, that's me. I've never wanted to be locked in and pigeonholed into like one thing. And that's why I do the music show. I do a comedy show. We do the free for all. My girlfriend and I do a show about paranormal and true crime. My son and I do. I'm dipping my toes into every freaking genre of podcasting I possibly can
That's very
because
cool.
why lock myself into one box? Like this is what you do,
Well, it's like you bring your own flavor to anything. It's like I'll just say vanilla because that's an easy example. Like you're vanilla, but then when you're in true crime now, maybe you're like a French vanilla, and French probably isn't the right example, but because you're adding like a little flavor to it, and then you're doing the comedy, and now you're a different add-on on the vanilla. Like it's still you and the essence you bring, but now there's a different topping involved.
Yeah. So was comedy something you always knew you wanted to do? I know you said you went to New York, how was that to go from California to New York? I mean, again, go big or go home.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's funny. It's one of those things like hindsight is 2020. And everybody always says, I don't know. It's like, is it bravery or is it stupidity? Right. And, because I moved when I was 18. It was like fresh out of high school, didn't know anybody. Mm-hmm. And if you told me at the moment bravery or stupidity, I'd be like, fuck you, I'm brave. I'm I'm 34 now, and I'm like, nah, I think I was pretty fucking dumb, like I think it was really dumb. But I mean, it was really hard at first. Most people move within the first 2 years. A lot of people would have like panic attacks just because of how crowded the subway is. I drink a lot of coffee, as mentioned. My boyfriend jokes that I have the heart rate of a hummingbird. Like I'll work an 8-hour shift, and then I'll make myself a coffee, and I'll come home, and I'll be like, I need to go to bed, but I have to finish this coffee first.
But I have 14 cups of coffee in me, so I may go to bed next Wednesday. I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe I need a new liver because of all the coffee, but my heart just won't stop. I have no fucking idea. But it was definitely hard at first. It was definitely an adjustment. I was very blessed to meet a lot of really great people along the way, a lot of great friends. And I love that I moved when I did. I was like 18. I say I was raised in California because I was there till I was 18, but I grew up in New York. Like the city like really made me like the adult that I am today, because I made a lot of great friends and, a lot of people from all different ages, different walks of life. When I moved to New York, I didn't know what the fuck a Puerto Rican was, which is embarrassing. I grew up in California, and the only Latinos I knew were Mexican. And then I New York, and now I'm in Texas. I'm over here. Where the fuck are my Dominicans? I want some fucking tostones. And so it's funny how things change. But it was definitely a life experience, and I'm grateful that I had it. I think I would be really obnoxious. I think, a lot of people would say I'm obnoxious still, rightfully so. But I think I would be more obnoxious if I didn't go there when I did.
Yeah, no, New York is, I've never been to the West Coast.
Yeah.
I've known lots of people from out there, through the years and whatnot. It always seems like, most people out there are kind of chill and laid back. And I've been to New York. I've been to New York a few times. It's a whole nother planet in New York.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah.
It's a strange combination of people. I got like a 4-day limit for New York. After 4 days, I'm done. Especially if I'm in the city, I'm done. I'm over it. Okay, time to go.
Yeah. Well, it's I mean, I was young and dumb. I was in my 20s, and when you're in your 20s and you're a lady, it's like everybody wants to hang out with you. And like I had all these guys with like money, and being like, oh man, I'm like, I got a yacht. I got what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I was like, oh, so you're broke, like I could have met like young Elon Musk, and I would have spit in his face and been like, get out of here, you dumbass. Like that's what it was.
And 15 years later.
but it was fun. It was fun. It was a great experience. It's good to be there in your 20s. Would I want to be there in my 30s? Absolutely not. And California is beautiful, but it's like what's great about New York, I think, especially moving there and not knowing anybody, is because you have to be around so many people. You're gonna meet people. Like you're gonna meet people whether you like it or not. There's gonna be someone that you don't even want to look at who's jerking off to you in front of you on the train. It's crazy because living in Texas, people ask me all the time. They're like, "Do you miss public transit?" I'm like, "You couldn't fucking handle it." You know what I mean? Because in Texas, an unsolicited dick pic is illegal. Which, by the way, ladies on your stream, who the fuck has ever solicited a dick pic? Never. So I'm just like, y'all are soft.
I have spoken out about that so many times. I don't get I've only ever sent 2. And they were to people that I was dating, and they had to beg me for them because this is the most awkward thing I've ever done in my life. And how do you get me go on it? Yeah. I'm like, why do you
Darth Vader hood? You know what I'm talking about? It looks like Dark Helmet.
I wanted a napkin with a napkin with googly eyes. Like, why do you want a picture of this? You know the things you've done already. You don't need a picture. Why are you asking me for this? No.
It's so dumb. But I just think, like for Texans that are like, "Oh, we need public transit," I'm like, you're too soft. If you that, try public transit because you're gonna see it unsolicited constantly on your way to work, and it's like, so. I definitely don't miss having to take the subway, but California is very different from New York in the sense that you're driving everywhere. And the thing I always love about New York is the honesty. Like if someone doesn't fuck with you, it's obvious.
Oh, yeah, they're not gonna beat around the bush.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. People always think New Yorkers are mean, but we're not mean. We're just in a hurry. Like I had plenty of times where I'm on my way to go to work and I'm walking to the subway and someone who's not from there is trying to ask me directions. I try once or twice. They still don't get it. I'm moving on. I got to get to that train. And then they're like, "Oh, New Yorkers are rude." It's like, no, we're not rude. I'm out of my apartment because I have to be somewhere, dumbass. In California, they'll be nice to your face, but they don't mean what they're saying. Mm-hmm. So I'd much rather have the honesty.
Yeah, no, that's one of my biggest quote unquote downfalls is I'm blatantly and very bluntly honest with people. If I don't like you, you're gonna, and if I don't say it, my face is gonna say it.
1,000%.
It's just fucking whatever it wants.
Like each other. Not everybody's gonna get along. You just gotta be civil. You know what I'm saying? Like especially in music, comedy, and any entertainment industry. There's a saying like the people you meet on the way up are the same people you meet on the way back down. Yeah. And everybody gets their 15 minutes. And there's a lot of that with social media and stuff where everyone's like, "Oh man, I got on Kill Tony, I got this," and now they think they're the big hot shit. And it's okay. Enjoy your 15 minutes. Still be nice to people around you because the people you meet coming up are the people you're going to meet coming down.
Don't forget the ones that were there, on Tuesday. Like for me, I say it all the time, I'm grateful for our core set that are here on, they're here 7 days a week, whether they're here for 5 minutes or they're here for the whole show. And then, Saturday nights, we do a 6-hour show and some people stay the whole 6 hours. Like, man, we're not that entertaining, but those are the ones who were there when you were coming up, and they, hopefully they're still around when you make it. And at the same time, when it all goes to hell, those same people are going to be there as long as you don't forget about them.
1,000%. Life is all about relationships, and there's you might think what you're doing for those 6 hours isn't that entertaining, but there's a lot of people that I'm sure just love feeling connected to you and feeling a part of a community. And that's
I have a huge ego, and I know everything I do is great. So
good. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, and that was the whole mindset, and I think a lot of people, as I've been talking and doing these different shows and interviewing people, you turn on the TV, you go outside, you talk to people. The world's going to hell in a handbasket. We all know it.
Yeah.
My mindset was I want to do something that for a couple hours a night, or when we were first starting, a few days a week, we can do a show, we can have fun and give people an escape. And You know, a lot of the musicians I've had on, some of the comedians are like, yeah, I get to go up on stage for 10 minutes and make people forget about, I just had a shitty day at work, or, oh, my kid's got to get braces, you know.
Well, I think that's the thing with comedy is like just focus on being funny.
Yeah.
Focus on being funny, and like you do have to care about the audience. Like I have to remind myself, and I we're all guilty of it. Where sometimes we might get like a big gig and we're like, oh man, it's about me. And it's like, it's actually still not about you. Like, unless even if you're the headliner of a showcase, unless your name is on the marquee, nobody came for you, you know, like still a customer service position.
Yeah.
And so I tried to, and I failed sometimes because we're all human, but I try to remember, just like when I'm waiting tables or bartending, it's like, this is customer service. Like I want whoever came to leave feeling good, if not better than when they got here. Right? Because that's the whole
have a good experience and be able to go, you know what? I was having a rough day, decided to go out to dinner with my girlfriend. That waitress, man, she killed it. She was great. She
1,000%.
Yeah. Or, you know, whatever the case may be, comedy club or, you know. A few years back, I kind of went off on somebody who came up trying to cause some troubles. And we don't do drama on our network. I don't believe it. Yeah, like it's pointless. And I kind of lost my cool. And I was like, it's my goddamn show, motherfucker. I'll do whatever I want. Well, then it turned into a running joke where, you know, if the guys would go on and be like, it's my show. And I'm like, what are you doing? You know, I don't have that swinging big dick mentality, but
no, but I totally get that because I had that this past weekend. I was like headlining a showcase, and I was like, it's about me, my show. It was like half the audience was with me, the other half wasn't, and I was just a bitch at the end, and that's not cool. Like ultimately, it's like you're responsible for how you show up, and you know what your best is. So it's like. It's not, I mean, it is about them. It is about making the audience feel good. But at the end of the day, it's also like about feeling good with what you did.
Yeah.
And know when you act out of character. And I mean, I feel like the people like, you know, yourself, like who care about what you put out and care about your audience know when you do that. And there are some assholes that go up and just really genuinely don't give a fuck about the crowd. Yeah. And those are people I don't book when I do a show. Because I'm like, I can't trust that you're going to care about the crowd. And like, whatever. But,
don't
you know,
it's like Patrick Swayze said in Roadhouse, be nice. Be nice.
I love Patrick Swayze. You know, after Patrick Swayze passed away, Dirty Dancing, I didn't watch it for years because I was like, I can't. I'm too emotional. I love that man. He actually, he's from, I don't think he's from Houston, or maybe he grew up in Houston, but he like did ballet classes at the JCC in Houston and stuff. He was so cool.
Oh, I just heard, there's a lovely thing about this show. I told you, we talk about whatever. It's a hangout. It's not a strict, boring interview. I just heard the other day that I guess it's the 50th anniversary or something like that of Dirty Dancing.
Oh my God.
And
I carried a watermelon. I'm sorry.
But the resort that they filmed the movie at is doing a whole big thing. And you can come, and they're doing a whole big. I was like, I wonder if I could swing that, because I love that movie. You know, it's funny. My middle
I know the whole playlist.
my middle daughter, a couple years ago, she found The Outsiders. She discovered The Outsiders movie in the book. I think they read it in school, and she came downstairs and she was like, I just think you should know that I'm crazy for Swayze. And I'm like, well, he's dead. And she was like, what? I was like, oh, I thought everybody knew. My bad.
No! Okay, so my dad was born in 49. So I'm 34. He's like 76. He was older when he had us. And so I was supposed to be like, oh, if I know older movies, this will be cool. Like Daddy will relate. And so I had him watch. It's embarrassing. I was like a teenager. I had him watch Dirty Dancing with me because I was obsessed with the movie at the time. And, you know, it's like parents are divorced. So it's like, it's our day together. I'm like, what are we going to do? I'm like, I want to watch this movie. And so we're watching it. and the dance scenes come on, and my dad's just like over there, like covering my eyes. Like, this is not a movie you watch with your dad, I guess. I was like, they're just dancing, I don't think. But for him, growing up in the 50s, it's like, whoa, this is the Elvis type dance. Stop moving your pelvis like that.
Yeah, I had one of those moments with my daughters. That series Shameless.
Oh yeah, I was just talking with some friends about that.
I'm a bad dad, apparently. I don't know. Or I blame their mom. I'm like, you guys watch this at your mom's house, clearly. They were talking about it one day, and I was like, oh, I don't think that's a show you should be watching. Like, I mean, I've watched the first season, and the very first or second episode, old dude's full frontal, got everything. And I was like, I don't think you guys should really be watching that. And my daughters go, Dad, we're already into season 2. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck it. I have officially failed as a dad because you definitely don't need to have no talks with me about
That's definitely a mom thing, though. Like a divorced parent, like a single mom thing to do with the daughters is to be cool and be like, let's watch this film. Because like when I turned 11, my sister and I had like our birthday party, and my mom let us watch The Sweetest Thing, R-rated movie. Right, with Cameron Diaz and Christina Applebaum and Selma Blair. And my mom's all like excited because it's like, hey, girls, it's okay. I trust you. It's all but we're cool. And then, we're sixth grade. We go to school the next day singing the song where it's like, that thing's too big to fit in here. Too big to fit in. And it's like, so we're not even in high school yet, and so that's very much a mom thing to do. They'll be fine.
I mean, my oldest one's 21 and my middle daughter's 17. So, it's like
they're fine.
I grew up watching horror movies and slasher movies, Freddy, Jason, and they all got the sex scenes in them. So my kids have grown up, and I always I know it's coming, so I'll just skip through it real quick. Yeah. And then it finally got to a point where, my son's 13, and I'm like, I was 13 once. I knew I can't tell you how many movies I've seen at 13. So if you want to watch. If you don't, then don't. I don't care. I'm not fast forwarding it anymore.
Yeah. Well, and then they're going to grow up and say they never saw it, because my dad showed my sister and I Deliverance. And like the famous scene in that movie, my dad fast forwards and covers our eyes. So everyone's like, oh, did you see Deliverance? I'm like, my daddy just dirty danced me. He did the same thing when that happened. And then when he did it during dirty dancing, I was like, really, I don't know what happened in either, but I really don't think that this is.
Yeah, I don't think you need the visual in Deliverance. You know what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. But let me watch the movie then. Don't take it away from me, Like, I can infer. I mean, English, I think I can understand.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you think you're doing the right thing. I don't know. Unfortunately, being a parent does not come with an instruction manual at the end of the day. So it's just like, look, I'm just fucking winging it here. All right, I'm doing the best I can.
All parents are, and one of the beauties I think of getting older is like realizing that your parents are people. All the pictures and all that. You should have known better that you put on them. You're like, I do the exact same thing, and like. I mean, I'm a dog mom, but I didn't think because when I was little, like my mom was always talking about like who are you going to marry, when are you going to get his grandchildren. I do the same thing to the dog because my puppy doesn't have her tubes tied, and the childless woman in my 30s, I don't want to take that option from her. You understand? And so it's my boyfriend. I drive him crazy. It was like a year ago. I'm walking her. And we meet this gorgeous, like redheaded Labrador, like flowing locks, and he's got parts, and like they hit it off, and me and the mom hit it off. I'm like, oh my god, Paxie's gonna have a baby. And then they had a falling out, didn't see each other for months, and she was heartbroken, I was heartbroken for her. And then I saw the dog walking, and I was like, I came home so excited. I was like, he still has his balls. He still has it. It could still happen. Like, and he's just like, shut up. Like, we're not. But I'm just trying to get my puppy to like, I want a grand puppy. And now I'm like, oh, I get where my mom was coming from. She's just like, I'm so excited.
Yeah. You were more heartbroken over the breakup than your dog.
Oh, 1,000%. If I had an address, I would have been sending all the kibble, all like the heartfelt messages, like
standing outside with the boombox.
with the boombox and just like a big T-bone. Just I'm sorry, she did not mean to nip like that. It was an accident. She got overstimulated. The truck drove by. She couldn't help it.
Oh man, sometimes it's sometimes you see on social media that people are, I'm a dog mom, I'm a cat mom or a cat dad, or and I'm like, oh, you have it so easy. They're not going to talk back to you. They're not going to sneak out in the middle of the night.
You don't have to call anyone. No one has to know.
3 o'clock in the morning because they were out drinking with their stupid friends.
Yeah, I literally will give my dog a beer at a bar. Nobody calls puppy protective services.
Yeah, right. If you leave her at home for a little while, you're not a bad.
Yeah, I don't have to leave a number for Round Table Pizza.
I'm very jealous. No, sorry, kids. My kids watch the show. I love my kids. I love them very much. But
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I only know I used to teach kids cooking classes, and that was a little where I was like, man, it's it's a cliche, but it's nice to get to play with them and then send them.
That's the great thing about having nieces and nephews, or my
it's a lot of work.
My girlfriend will be at Walmart or whatever, and she'll, oh, look at the baby clothes, I can't wait. And I said, well, the only one that would barely get away with it right now is the oldest one. The other two better not be coming home anytime soon with hey dad.
Listen, puppy will raise them. Okay, she's ready.
Well, I can't wait to be a grandpa, but in a few more years, I got 6 years until my son graduates high school. Give me a few years to not have any babies or any kids around, and let me, so.
But I get it more too. My parents, I get more as I get older why parents want grandkids, because it's because then you get to just have fun. You get to just have fun. You get to embarrass. You don't have to worry about anything. It's just send them back, and you're like, this is what you did to me. You know what I mean? It's the ultimate payback, right? I get it. Really, I get it.
Yeah. Here's a ton of sugar, and hey, you gotta come get your kid.
Yeah, by the way. Wow, that mosquito bite looks like it's inflamed. You should go home.
I have no idea what happened.
I know.
Sounds like a you problem now.
You better have insurance. I think Dad knows.
No, exactly. See, this is a great thing. I told you before we started, I go off on tangents sometimes.
No, me too. I'm like half the time you've been great, but half the time I've started on something. I'm like, fuck, what was I had a point. I'm trying to bring myself back.
No, it's the joys of ADHD. I tell people all the time that one side of my brain is going in 900 directions at 4,000 miles an hour, and the other side of my brain is just hanging on for dear life.
Oh yeah, I don't even know which part's working. In all honesty.
We have a thing on Saturday nights that we say that we, our regulars, there's a group of us, a core group, and we all share a brain cell. So we fight for custody on Saturday night of that one brain cell. So,
right. Have you named a brain cell?
Yeah. But back onto the subject of comedy, let me ask you, because this is kind of the new thing now. You see a lot of Matt Rife is one of them. I'm not a big fan of Matt Rife. I think his crowd work is great. But you see a lot of these comedians are doing the crowd work thing. Now, you being new and coming up and still doing your thing, do you think, what's your thoughts and feelings on that?
Yeah, a great question. So I feel like, crowd work is a great skill to have. I host a lot of shows, and a lot of people that are doing comedy and that are maybe like just coming up like me, it's great to get into hosting, because not everybody can be a good host. And if you can be a good host, then you can work. And when you can work, and stage time is the only way you get good at stand-up is stage time. Like, you can tell your friends jokes, you can tell your colleagues jokes, you can write jokes, but the only way you know that they work in front of a crowd, and any crowd, is just by doing them on stage, right? Because the thing that makes, because stand-up is one of those arts where everyone's like, I could do it, because everyone can be funny in conversation with their friends. But what makes stand-up different is you're standing in front of a group of people who don't know you. And like acting terms, right? In acting, if you're into like Meisner, there's like a saying, like a moment before, like the scene is going and we're seeing the scene from here, but the scene has been happening. Like, these characters didn't just appear. So in your mind, what's your moment before? What happened before you enter the scene and we see you, to like give your character more of an arc? In stand-up, there is no moment before. You literally just enter cold. And this is who I am, laugh with me. And that's what makes it so difficult. And so the only way to like work that out and get good is stage time. So it's really valuable to be a good host. And so I want to get better with crowd work, in the sense of like being able to talk to the crowd for hosting. But a lot of people will say, and I would agree with this, don't do crowd work as a host. Because that sets the expectation for the audience that everyone behind you is going to do crowd work. Right. And for people that might not be familiar, crowd work is I point at someone in the crowd and I go, hey, how old are you? Where are you from? And I want them to give me a response. Right. So what I've been trying to get to work on is crowd polling, where I'm go, hey, clap if it's your first time here. Clap if you're celebrating something great, and so like I'm getting everybody engaged and getting their attention, but I'm not picking on one particular person, and I'm not having a dialogue with one particular person, because the other comedians coming behind me might not want to do crowd work. And if I set the expectation for the crowd that that's what's going to happen, then I just kind of fucked everybody else on the show. That being said, the Matt Rifes and like the trend with a lot of comics and like social media, because a lot of people aren't necessarily great at stand-up, but they kind of skip the line because they have a clip go viral. And so a lot of the clips that go viral are the crowd work clips. And a lot of the people like Matt Rifes and whatnot that are posting clips are posting their crowd work clips, not their jokes. Because, and this is one of those things where I personally disagree with it. Like I post my whole fucking set on YouTube. And I do it because I'm bad at technology and I'm lazy. I always run out of storage. So I record my act and then I'm like, let me just put it on YouTube so I have it, but I can get rid of it on my phone. But a lot of people don't do that because they feel like it's burning jokes. They're like, okay, I have my joke out in the open. Now I can't use that joke again. And I would agree with that to an extent. Like, I think if you're at like a Seinfeld, Jim Gaffigan, if you're at like a headliner level where people are paying to come see you, don't put your jokes online, because then when people come and see you, they're going to be like, oh, I already saw these jokes. Nobody's like, I'm at the point where nobody's like, Hannah Abney, I'm going to Little Rock to see her. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry about that. So I think it's kind of like who you are and where you are in your career. But I think the reason why so many people are getting big with crowd work and so many people are focusing in on crowd work is it's a great way to get clips that you can post online for traction and to build audience without giving away your jokes.
You feed the algorithm monster, as I call it here.
1000%. And I think that's the reason it's becoming so big and so many people are leaning into it, is because they just want content that they can put out that isn't putting out their jokes. And I don't see anything against that. My only issue, I think, is that a lot of people, stand-up's really big right now. People are getting really into it because of social media and like views and clips and likes and just things appearing on their feeds. And so a lot of people, particularly younger audiences, are thinking that stand-up is just crowd work.
Yeah.
And so they've seen the Matt Rife, they've seen like the crowd work clips, and now they're out with their friends. What do you want to do? Oh, let's go to a comedy show. And they pay and they go to a weekend showcase where they paid. Everybody else paid to be there. The comedians are professional and they're being paid, and they're expecting a crowd work show.
Yeah.
And now they don't actually A, enjoy what they're seeing, and B, they don't know how to be a part of the audience because they're expecting the comedian to like poke fun and talk with them rather than give them an act. And they're not really there to listen to an act, if that makes sense.
And it definitely, I mean, and in my opinion, again, as a fan, I feel like it almost, because like you said, you get people that go and they expect that, and then they want to be part of the act, so they never shut the fuck up. And for people who are going there for the comedy, it kind of ruins the show for you. And I've said it a million times, and I'll continue to say it. Matt Rife's crowd work is great; it's funny, but his actual stand-up, he's mediocre at best.
Well, there's a lot of comics that nowadays are leaning on the crowd work over the act, right? And so crowd work is like, it's this good skill. It's kind of like improv, right? Like, because I mean, good crowd work is improv. It's good to have the skill to be able to like be present in the room, respond to what's happening around you in the room. Like if you say something and then maybe someone makes a loud noise or has a ridiculous laugh when you say that, to be able to respond to that in the moment is great. But to rely on crowd work instead of your act is like amateur, and nobody worth anything in the industry will respect it. Because like the old heads that know what that is. And there's a difference between, okay, something funny just happened in the moment, I'm responding, or I'm trying to find somebody to lean on in the crowd because I don't actually have it.
Like a crutch. Now, last time I was at a show for one, a big name, I didn't even mean to. I didn't even think I was that loud, but we were up front, and we're from Ohio. And she was talking about Ohio and stereotypes, and I was just kind of at our table, and I was just kind of like, hell yeah. And she was like, where's it at? And she's like, what'd you say? I said, hell yeah. And she's like, so randomly throughout the show during her joke, she would look over and smile at me and point, and I would have to go, hell yeah. So,
yeah.
And her fiance was the main comic that night. So when he came out, the first thing he said is, where's the hell yeah guy?
That's fun, right? And that's fun. And so it's like, I do think if someone is like, you have to find the balance, right? Because there's like, it's almost like a pick your battles, right? Is someone being loud and belligerent and like really ruining the vibe, or is someone like maybe talking a little bit and like, because another thing too to remember is like when people are, and it's hard to remember, but like, this is your job, right? When you're doing comedy, you're so used to being on stage or being at a comedy show that you forget that a lot of people coming, they don't ever do this. Like this is maybe their first time coming, or maybe this is their first night out in months, and like super excited and like maybe overstimulated, and they're sitting down, and now they're like to their friends like, "Can we get a word in? Oh my God, and it comes across as talking during your set, but it's not like in the intention of like being part of the show. And so that stuff I try to just kind of like talk over and ignore. If someone's drunk and they keep yelling out and they are wanting your response, you kind of have to like gauge where you're at in your act and your comfort level if you're going to call it out. Ultimately, I think like that sort of stuff is for the host to address. It's uncomfortable because like the host is like the host of the party, want to be friends with everybody. So I try never, when I'm hosting a show, to address anything unless absolutely necessary in my set. But if I notice someone's doing something repeatedly in everybody else's set, then between comics, that's when I might politely kind of go to them and be like, hey, what's going on here? Like we're doing this, But,
Yeah, I don't know if you know or not, but there's a comedy show going on right here on this
demo. And also, like, you can be a part of this as much or as little as you want to be, but if you want to be a part of it, like, we're nasty and we're all comedians, like, you're going to get your feelings hurt because nobody's happy you're talking right now.
Yeah.
Like...
Nobody wants to go to a comedy club and see mom and dad fight.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
And that's what it feels like sometimes when the comic goes off on somebody. It's like, ooh, this is kind of awkward. Like, well, what do we do?
Like you don't ever want to lose the crowd. You don't ever want to turn on the crowd. And it's hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like I have a joke about it. I'm tiny, but I'm filled with rage. You know, like I'm super sweet, but you make me mad, and I am like I'm a cunt. I am just like fucking and stuff like that makes me really fucking mad. And so it's hard to keep your cool and stay professional, but that is the job too. So
Yeah, no, I mean, you're coming out, and in your head, you're already running through things. You're excited, you're anxious, you're nervous, whatever the case may be, and it doesn't take much to kind of throw you off a little bit. And if you come across a bit dicky, well, when you go back and think about it, well, maybe they deserved it. Like just if you're having a shitty day, don't mean you have to ruin everybody else's day.
All on a journey, they got what they needed.
Yeah.
Well, I think like most of the time, in my personal experience, the people like in terms of hecklers that are the worst are the people that are the sweetest and the most excited to be there. Like they are literally the most excited to be there. And because they're so excited, they got super drunk and they just want to be a part of the show. Mm-hmm. And it sucks because when you have to like, you try to like politely call them out, but they don't get it because they're drunk and they're excited. And then, God forbid you do have to get a little stern with them. Now you just kind of ruin their night. And it sucks because it's like, you were like one of the most enthusiastic fans. You just didn't understand.
Yeah, you just didn't know the rules. You didn't understand the assignment.
yeah. So it's hard. It's hard. On staff to do it, but it is one of those things. Like I deal with this when I teach yoga all the time. It's like the ultimate question, like the few over the crowd, right? Where it's like, hey, everybody else paid the same amount to be here and is following the protocol of listening so that we can laugh and enjoy the show together. And so if I just kind of let this rock and let you keep tagging my jokes and therefore kind of like stepping on the laughs, I'm letting you have a great time and I'm impacting everybody else's experience. Just like in a yoga class where it's like, okay, doors close at this time. Everyone's meditating and trying to get ready. Everyone paid the same amount to be here. If I'm going to let you, for whatever reason, show up 10 minutes after doors close and now interrupt everyone's practice, is that really kind or fair?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. This kind of goes along the lines of this conversation. We were talking a little bit behind the scenes before the show, and knowing your crowd, knowing your room, because the crowd in Houston, Texas, downtown Houston, Texas is going to be a lot different than the crowd in middle of nowhere Utah,
Yeah, I just show in Orange, Texas, which if you don't know where that is, neither do I. In all honesty, I just followed GPS. But it's not downtown.
But knowing your room, have you had any crazy or bad experiences where it's just like you go somewhere and they see you come on stage and they're like, oh, ew,
I mean, I would say that was Orange.
What you're going to talk about, and then you're like,
because I come on, like I'm very I'm inappropriate, like I'm not clean. I mainly talk about like spirituality and like yoga stuff. I talk about my family a little bit, dating a little bit. But my main shtick is like, hey, I'm doing this like meditation where the whole exercise is to like breathe into my vagina. Isn't that crazy? But it's also like it's true, but I'm making jokes about it. And so I typically, when I'm performing, I like to wear like a hippie outfit. And I do this show last weekend out in Orange, Texas. And it's like with this guy who like really caters to like a very, alt-right audience. And I come out, I'm the only lady on the show and I'm in a hippie outfit. And usually I do that. Even if I'm in like downtown Houston or if I'm like further out in the city, even when I'm in Little Rock, the women get excited because they're like, yay, there's a woman here.
Yeah.
where even the women are like not happy to see me on stage. They're like, we very much assume a lot about her and we don't like what we assume. And, to be fair, I was tired. I don't think it was my best performance, but it was definitely one of those where I was like, oh man, they are not
there. Yeah. What is this dirty hippie doing on stage?
100%. And I always tell people, I'm like, I'm a hippie in the truest sense. I'm like, I feel like a lot of people have like commandeered that word. I'm like a real hippie. Like, just be cool, bro. Just be cool, dude. Like, just be cool. I don't care. So, and I think that's like the truest hippies. Anyone who wants to say they're a hippie and they believe otherwise can fucking suck it.
No. I mean, and that's the other thing. And in the last few years, there's always been female comedians and women comedians, and some of them, they'll try to rely more on their looks and they'll kind of slut it up rather than their comedy, and then others are like,
well, never an option. So
yeah, to make it, they got to be super vulgar. But in the last several years, female comedians have really been, stepping up and really kind of taking over. But I'm sure still, and being young in the comedy world, being a female, it's probably got to be hard for you because you really don't know what expectations people are, like, oh, if I come out and I'm too vulgar, are they going to like me? Or, do I,
It's one of those things where, like, there's a lot of people that get really want to do an all-woman show. Because they're like, oh yeah, Women's Month and Mother's Day, whatever. But the lady comics were some of the dirtier comics, which I'm sure you know doing what you do. Like, as I remember when I first started, I did an all-women show, and like halfway through, the guy who ran it, God bless him, was like, oh my God, like, he did not know what he signed up for. Because it made me really, really nasty. I do think, like, ultimately, like, I want people to just get booked because they're funny. Like, I see a push where people are like, oh, I have to, like, click this box and have a lady on. And I love, like, the desire to have a diverse lineup. I love this sentiment. But, like, put people on because they're funny and you want them on the show. I think that's the only reason to have anybody on. Because otherwise, it dilutes it for everyone else, But there definitely is, like, a little bit of a double standard, I would say, in the sense where, like, a lot of the guys that are like, I'm more clean cut, blue collar, and I don't cuss like that. But they all have a big joke and, like, they're fine. But if I talk about my yoni, which means Hindi, sorry, I have a lot of Indian friends that are like, that's a religion, not the language. Sorry. But if I talk about my downstairs, it's like, whoa, so it's just like, there is a little bit of a double standard. But it is what it is. It always is.
More, I don't care. More power to you. I'm a firm. I had a I had a comedian on here, a little while back, Dawn, and she's Amazing Red, and she was a granny, and just right out the gate.
Oh, the grannies are great. The grannies are so fun. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, just right out the gate. As soon as the show starts, she just starts going on about her vagina. And the fact that she's just banging dudes left and right. Like, she don't get, and I'm just like, all right, I know where this show's going tonight.
1000%. I mean, yeah, like, STDs, STIs are, like, on the rise in those homes.
Get it. That's all. Yeah.
I was always talking about it because, like, a lot of women, and I do like the online, like, spiritual courses where it's like, you've got crystals and you've got them in your yoni and you're pulsing for strength, and I make jokes about it on stage, but there are a lot of women who've never ever looked down there, which is crazy. So I do think, like, for me, it's more of just like a women empowerment thing of like, hey, fucking own your body, own your power, like, know yourself. So that's where I'm like, hey, dudes, like, or dudettes, because it's a lot of women that are like, we're the hardest on ourselves and we're the meanest to each other. Comfortable, but it's like, dude, I don't see anything wrong in talking about it.
No, and early on when I was doing my music show, I remember the first guest I had, the first female guest I had, and shout out to Jules, love you, girl. I was so nervous because I'm like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to, say something and be misinterpreted, or I'm like, I'm going to look like a fucking idiot on the internet because I'm going to say the wrong thing to this girl. Right out the gate, she's like, so let me tell you about a story. I went to a BDSM club here in LA, first time ever. And I was like, oh, and this is a musician. And I was like, so I'm good. She's been on several times. She's become like family here. But ever since her, it was like, oh, yeah, I can have females on there. I mean, they're just like us. You guys are just as perverted as we are. So
1,000%. Honestly, I think we're just more honest about it. Guys, they like keep it under wraps a little bit, like because they're like, oh man, they've had hard drives stolen, and women don't know how to use hard drives. Otherwise, we have them stolen too. But I'm just not tech savvy like that. But yeah, it's it's no different. I mean, I do think we're a little dirtier in all honesty.
I think so. I think so. And like I said, I was nervous because I didn't want to say the wrong thing and be labeled something that I'm not. But I'm like, I'm a host of the show. I can't just be like, oh, sorry, you're a female. I don't want you on the show because I'm going to get labeled a perv when in actuality.
Because I just have to, like, when we open, I just have to be eating a fig. I just have to be. I just have to have like a big Gulf oyster at the start of this show, and I just can't.
I'm just like, oh well. I mean, there's been a few ladies that have been on my show where I've had to just turn my chair and take I was not expecting that.
So funny. Yeah.
No. I think it's great because like I said, guys do it. Why can't you guys? Why can't you go up there? I mean, we're gonna go make dick jokes, and why can't you go up and talk about your lady bits?
Well, I think the whole thing too in stand up, and this is like kind of what we're talking about in Houston being a diverse like city and like how like big it is in terms of like different demographics and audiences. Like you need to be able to make everyone laugh because you don't know who's going to be in the audience, It actually happened the other day. Like a lot of times, like I'll go up and I'm doing a show that really could just be an open mic during the week, and there's like a couple of people there, and it's just all dudes, and I'm like, it's gonna be 10 minutes, and it's gonna be rough for both of us. You know what I mean? This is a gangbang I didn't want to be a part of. Okay, I'm the only lady, and it's like bear with. I apologize before I don't know if you're gonna relate to any of this. And then this past week I did a show and it was like that, but it was reversed. It was like maybe 5 ladies in the crowd and all guys, and I'm the one lady, and all of them are feeling what I have to go through. Where I'm like, good luck. You're gonna go up there. What you're gonna talk about? You're gonna talk about your girlfriend being fat or something. They're not gonna hear it. So and like everybody has that, right? Because you have who you are and your experience, and that's part of what your stand-up is. But like, can you make jokes that are gonna be relatable for everybody, you know? And there's certain jokes, particularly sex jokes. I know this from experience because I love sex jokes, where couples don't want to hear them. Couples don't want to hear it because like the lady doesn't know if she can laugh or the guy doesn't know if he can laugh, so they just can't be comfortable. So like, and a lot of times you do a show and it's a great crowd in the sense that they're big and they're attentive, but it's just all pairs of twos. And that's when it's like, okay, the sex jokes probably aren't going to work with these guys unless they're real fucking freaks. Because they're not going to be comfortable laughing about it, And so it's like, I think,
it's so funny in this day and age. And you see it, if you go out, the amount of people that are still kind of freaked out if people openly talk about sex. Like, it's 2026. You can't get on the internet without I can't scroll on Instagram without seeing 6 different girls doing God knows what with home appliances, to promote their OnlyFans. And I'm like, I'm just looking for comedians and musicians and to promote my show. Why am I seeing this? I'm not Googling this.
Has a solar panel on it. You need to see it. This is like a new butt plug.
Yeah, right.
You could power your kitchen.
Yeah. Put this in and go sunbathe. Yeah, but yeah, it blows my mind the amount of people that are. No, it really does. It blows my mind the amount of people that are uncomfortable when sex talk comes up, because it's like, well, we're all doing it. Don't act like you're not.
Well, I personally feel sorry when people are, because I'm like, it's just, if you are really that uncomfortable, I think it just, and I mean this with no hate, because we've all been there. I just, you're probably not getting what you want to be getting right now, or the way you're wanting to be getting it, or you're not feeling comfortable with yourself in that way right now. And that sucks. I've been there. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's. I was going to ask you something. Totally. Let's talk about solar panel butt plugs.
Yeah, honestly, I think this could be a great business endeavor. Who wants to buy in? Shark.
I'm going to slap a Nonsensical Network on them. Get your official Nonsensical Network solar panel butt plugs.
Seriously, sharks, come on.
Yeah. No. With your comedy, because everybody has their style. Are you more of a joke? Like, I'm going to hit you with I got a bunch of jokes with punchlines. Or are you more of a storyteller, or a little bit of a combination?
A little bit of a combination. I'm trying to be more like shorter jokes with punchlines, just because, especially in a shorter set, it's easier to grab people's attention quick with like quicker, wittier jokes. But naturally, I am more of a storyteller. I'm more like, I'm always like, this happened to me, or this happened, and I did this because of how I felt. That's crazy, right? But it's funny too, right? Like, I'm typically not trying to poke fun at anybody but myself and my own neuroses. Yeah. So a lot of stories kind of go in with that. Yeah.
No, and unfortunately, we live in a world, everybody's got TikTok brains. So I think it's getting harder and harder to be a storyteller, because you've got to be able to throw those, if you're telling a long story, you got to be able to throw those quick, punchlines or whatever in every few seconds to people paying attention. Like, hey, shiny object right here.
If you're telling a story, but you're doing stand-up, it's not the moth, it's still stand-up. So you still want to laugh every 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah. And so I think it's one of those things, just kind of like know the art that you're doing right now. If you're story, and it is a struggle. It's hard to figure out, especially at open mics, because you only have a couple minutes. They don't know you, and like you want to get a laugh right up top, so they trust that you're funny, and then you want to go to this thing that might already be 5 minutes because it's a longer story. Yeah. But unless you're doing like one of those story time specific shows like The Moth, where the goal is to tell a good story and not be funny. You're doing stand-up, but you have a story. It still needs to adhere to the rules of stand-up, where you're still getting a laugh every 15 seconds or so.
That's where I would have problems, because I have a tendency to. I grew up in the country, so there's no such long story short or long story long.
5 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Before we get there. Like my dad's a hog farmer from Missouri, and I recorded him one time because like his stories are so ridiculous, like where he's specific. Like my dad had a pet paraplegic pig named Chuck, and and so I recorded him telling this story, and he starts off, he's like, "Oh hell, Hannah, it was midday, it wasn't too foggy, I was probably midday, the sun was maybe mid-sky." And you're like, what does this have to do with the story? Like, he's really painting the scene, like Wizard of Oz style, And he's like, "Well, we got a lot of pigs on the farm, and Daddy was bad with the tractor, and we got this pig all around, and Daddy ran over to his legs, and you ain't gonna fix the legs on a hog."
Yeah.
Forever to get to the point of how this hog ended up paralyzed.
It really is. It constantly throwing in, Farmer Brown, Earl's cousin, Bill was there. I don't know who any of these people are. Why is this part of the story? That's me. That's how I grew up.
Exactly, 1000%. That's how my dad tells a story. It's so silly. It's fun though. But it's silly. I think the biggest challenge and like the most fun when you crack the code on stand-up is like talking about experiences you've had or people you've known in your life and being able to sum them up in a sentence that's quick and funny where everybody gets the gist. Without them having to have been there. So like just get to the funny quicker.
Yeah, because in the crazy, we all have friends. We all have that one friend that you can relate to. We all have that ignorant friend that does the dumbest things for no reason, or you might have a friend that he's never been tested, but you're pretty sure he's borderline retarded.
Oh.
so I am that friend.
Type of test. Oh, those people. You can smell them.
Yeah, so it's just like, you can kind of relate. You can understand.
1000%. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I love it. But oh man, see, ADHD brain over here, 900 miles an hour. For you, is doing the comedy kind of like a high for you? Like you hear a lot of musicians like, man, I love being up on stage. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
Well, you also did 14 pounds of blow before you hit the stage, but no, is that like a drug for you? Is that like an adrenaline rush that you look forward to every time?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was telling a friend earlier, I kind of feel like a bit of a masochist in a sense. It's like if it goes well, oh my God, you feel like such a high. And when it doesn't go well, it's kind of, I feel kind of like Timon and Pumbaa, like Pumbaa would like hold him back, hold me back. I'm like, no, let me get back out there. I'll do it again, and so I wouldn't necessarily call it a high, but I would call it like a calling for sure. It's like something I have to do, and something that even like for the years when I wasn't doing it, where I had started, I was still always identifying as a comedian. And I tell people all the time, it's like, and I've spoken with people too that have started, and we kind of agreed that like doing stand-up, it's almost like being an alcoholic. It's like, okay, I'm not drinking right now, but I'm still one. Like
you still want it.
Yeah, like once you start, if it's really something that you want to do, and like it doesn't ever leave you.
Yeah.
So when I have a great show, like I feel on a high there. And when I don't have a great show, I listen to Four Non-Blondes and I cry, and sometimes I'm like, maybe I should just, make a wrong turn. I don't know. Or I just want to get back on stage as soon as I can and try to make it right. So
no, that's I agree. When you enjoy what you're doing, I mean, that's how I am with this. If I take a week off, or take a couple weeks off, like I've done, this summer with the Saturday night show. Last weekend was the first time back in like 3 weeks I'm doing a Saturday night show. I'm still doing these shows, but I was like almost like fiending for it. I needed it. Like I was ready to be back because I missed it so much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, when you enjoy what you do, it really is kind of like a drug, or and even if you're kind of an off night or whatever, you're like, I can do better next time. I'm just going to stop.
That's like another bump, right? Get me there.
I'm just going to stop this show and restart here in 5 minutes. I can do better.
I mean, I've always just done like weed or like mushrooms, and I just have bad anxiety. So in all honesty, it probably is like a drug, but my drug experience, which is just I'm really anxious and I shit myself and then I pass out afterwards.
It sounds like something a dog would have that has separation anxiety.
Oh yeah, why do you think me and my puppy get along so well? We're bonded.
Trauma bonding.
1000%. 1000%.
So one of the things I always like to know about entertainers and comedians, Are you the type of person that'll, you have got energy for days? Obviously, as we discussed, you drink 14 gallons of coffee a day. Do you use the full stage to your potential? Are you kind of all over the place? Are you, not only are you doing comedy, but you're also kind of putting on a performance as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. I want to get better with that. I definitely do a lot of act outs. I'm a very physical performer. My act outs are intentional in the sense of like I know where I'm acting out, what I'm doing for this joke. But in terms of when I'm just doing like a straight setup punch, like less story, less act out that I've been working on, I want to be more intentional with my use of the stage. Because like sometimes I stand there, sometimes I'm pacing, but I don't feel like I've necessarily really thought out what I'm doing and why. And a lot of things I find that work on stage, I find just from being on stage and like having like a spark light, where it's like I say something that I'm thinking that's funny and people get it all of a sudden. And now I feel the freedom to play with it. So it just comes with time. Like one of my best jokes right now was just a line that I was just always say for years, even when I wasn't doing comedy, in conversation. And I was hosting a show one night and I was kind of grasping for straws because I was new to hosting. And I just said this line and it got a laugh. And then from there I was like, well, now where do I go? And so now there's like tags, and now it's one of my best jokes. So
nice. The accidental. Yeah, the accidentals. So I gotta ask you, because this made me laugh way too hard. Doing a little social media scrolling.
Oh yeah, okay.
And your cat,
Oreo, R.I.P. I actually have a chain for her.
That's really, I like that. her bar mitzvah / quinceanera.
Oh yes! Oh my god, I love that you saw that because so many people didn't see this. So so Oreo passed, and my ex-boyfriend, reason why he's an ex, part of it, he just couldn't wait for another kitty, and I was like, I'm not ready, because I'm like, cat chooses you, I feel like a cat chooses you. Nobody, and if you've ever tried to be with a woman that, right, nobody just is like, hey, you're mine now, and the cat warms up. The cat comes to you. Yep. And so
my girlfriend's cat was, my girlfriend jokes all the time. She's like, she's not even my cat anymore. She doesn't even like me.
Yeah.
I'm like, all I did was come over and sit down. And then she, and I'm not, don't get me wrong. I like cats. They're cool. They're assholes at the end of the day.
But then you find the asshole that's your asshole, and Oreo is my asshole.
Yeah.
Cleo, I threw her a quince mitzvah. She was my ex's cat, and I first moved to Houston with my ex, and like I have a joke about it where it's like everyone ends up in Houston for two reasons: work or penis. Either way it involves drilling, right? Like work and oil. I said that wrong, but I moved with him. And we were living with him and his uncles, and so it was during the pandemic. So I would just like keep myself busy. I was throwing fiestas for the dog Pulga, who is like a Chihuahua. I was just throwing and I became a great party planner. Like I had like a whole menu. I had a whole playlist. I had goodie bags. The first year I throw this fiesta for Pulga, the whole family's like, Pinche Loquita, like what's this green guy doing? And then the party was so great that after the party, everyone was like, "Why wasn't I invited to Pulga's Fiesta?" That they didn't get an invite to this Chihuahua's party. And the irony is, Chihuahua doesn't like people. You cannot touch this Chihuahua. Like his uncle, like his dad had to have like hawk gloves if he was going to pick him up. And so then we get this cat, and I'm Jewish, and my ex was Honduran. So once she turned 2, it was like, okay, a quince mitzvah. So I do like a whole like fusion. I make us a masa ball soup. I did like I did a bagel and lox board. I did pastrami tacos. I did a pickle pico. I did like a whole thing. I brought everybody over. I do wine for the cat, as you saw.
Yeah.
So, Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't even get your question. I was just like, let me tell you, wrong cat. And then I went on a tangent.
Oh, no. I came across it because she's got her dress on and a necklace, and you had her little speech for her.
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard. I was telling my girlfriend about it before the show tonight as I was setting up the computer and everything, and she's over there laughing because she would totally do the same thing. And I'm like, I laughed way too hard at this video for way too long. I think I watched it like 3 times just laughing.
I love that.
And I don't know why. It was just great. It's one of those things that I was just like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just very much like into my potty planning era, and everyone was like, you should make a business as a potty planner because I'm so good at like potties. And when I say potty, I know it's like New York accent, but I mean potty, Pawty. Like I throw a potty. Like
a potty. Yeah.
I have a menu. I literally like have a playlist. I have like little goodie bags for the kids. For Pulga, we had like a little piñata. I have a cake and a dog cake or cat cake, yeah, it was fun.
Well, it's one of those things too, as crazy as it sounds, because most people are going to go, a potty planner, like, for insanity. But there's plenty of people out there that are going to call you and go, can you do this for my dog? He's
That's what people have told me, and I've just been like, I don't know what I would even charge because I do it for the love of it. Like, I love puppies and kitties too. I love animals, I love them. But so I threw a Kitzeh mitzvah for her, and so I love that you found that, because it's one of those videos, and I'm sure you do this too, or from like being on social media, what you do, where it's like you put something up and you're like, oh, this is going to be the one. Yeah. Everyone's going to see this, and this is going to be it. And I was so proud of that. I was like, this is so great. And maybe 2,000 people saw it. And then post something that like you didn't even try about, somebody got you like not even paying attention. And then you get like 6,000, 10,000 views and like a couple more like followers, all these like 200 likes or something. You're like, I didn't even try here. What is going on? What is the algorithm?
I posted one video, and it still shocks me that people still watch it and like it. And like, it was one of those videos where I'd been drinking most of the night. We had done the show, and then I went and played on TikTok Live. So I'm sitting at my desk, and it's like, it's just stupid little saying. I got in trouble with HR for telling my coworker, FYI, apparently you can't say "fuck you, idiot" or whatever. It's gotten like almost 700,000 views. And I'm like, that's the one. We're going to get thousands of followers. I think we got like 200 followers. And then I'm like, all right, now we're on fire. I'm going to post another video a couple of days later because this one's still hot. And I posted it. The next video got like 20 views. And I'm like, well, what the hell, man?
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? It's so like, why? Yeah. I remember I posted, and I just got on TikTok. And I posted this video of like, it's like a year old, but I was like, what do I post? So I was like recycling posts that I had from Instagram. And my puppy Waxy doesn't have her tubes tied. And when I work out at home, sometimes she gets really, really excited. And so I was doing like an exercise video, and I'm doing like walking push-ups, and she is like humping. And I'm recording, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep going. I'm like, this is mom life, like, the baby is like humping me in the corner, and I am still working on my summer bod.
It's hot girl summer coming up. Don't mind the dog in the background.
And I posted that, and I got like 6,000 views, and a lot of people didn't get it. They were like, this is bestial. And I was like, you don't understand the joke. Like, I'm not into this. I'm still working on my fitness. But it's like I'll have like a joke that I think did great, or a crowd work thing at like a comedy show, and I'll clip it, and I'm like, this will be great, and like 300 views. And you're like, oh, what are you doing?
Come on, man. That's we talk about feeding the algorithm monster a lot on these shows, but that's the double-edged sword with social media. It's a necessary evil if you're in entertainment. you hate it, but you love it at the same time, and you do that dance of, oh man, this video did great. All right, we're on fire. Let's post another video, and then that one just like it eats absolute shit, and then it's like, screw it, I'm not doing any more videos. I get like, yeah, I'm putting all this time into all these other actual shows. I don't have time to do your goofy 15-second clips, and it's like, yeah. And then
See,
I'm told, like,
my take on it, like I find what does the best is the stuff that's just like organic, that brings you joy, and you just had fun making it, and you just posted it. Because those are the ones that you didn't think about, that you didn't like edit, that you didn't really try to coordinate. And then everybody, like, I can't plan when my dog is going to hump me while I'm in a plank. I had my camera set up and I got it. And I was like, this is hilarious, you know? And so I think it's like, I think that's the real key, is just like, but that's what's hard to stay in, right?
Yeah.
Is giving the permission to stay open and just be yourself. But I think the biggest selling is just be your fucking self.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest, but that's the most valuable.
Yeah. And I would love to, I do all these shows. I would love to have the time to sit down and make clips and post them, because most everything on here, it's real. It's raw.
Yeah. Well, that's why people that'll watch you for 6 hours, because you're real,
Yep. But I don't want to fall into that hole of being clip famous. Like, thank you for I'm glad that 20,000 people watched this clip of the show, but only 50 people actually watched the show, and only 5 stayed the whole time. Like, this is what I want you to watch. I want you to watch this content, not me doing a stupid TikTok dance, because
That one I don't have an answer for, but I do feel like it's just human nature, right? Because it's like, I get this where I'm at work all the time, where it's like, people ask you, like, people order a sandwich and you ask what type of bread they want it on, or like if they want coleslaw or potato salad. And it's like the small thing that they get hung up on. I'm like, but you came for the sandwich. We're here for the sandwich. Like, why are you acting like if you're going to have it on white or wheat bread, it's the biggest, most important decision of your day?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, you can't, but it's something funny on that in like human nature, right? Because it's like, you'll put this amazing piece out, and then just one clip, and everybody gets fixated on that one little thing that is what it's about, And it's like, I don't know. My God.
You put a clip out of one of your jokes, and then people come, and that's all they want to hear. And it's like, but I have 20 more minutes,
Or they come and they're like, I don't want to hear that at all. I already heard that. And you're like, fuck you.
Well, that's why you're here, because you heard it. Now shut up and listen.
Seriously.
Microphone.
You're like, just come on. It's 1 minute. It's 1 minute. Get out of here. Get over it. What are you gonna do?
Right. No, you're 100% right, Waldo. Content is currency.
Yeah. Hey, Waldo. That's a friend.
You're 100% accurate in that. Yeah, well, content is currency these days. It's the world we live in. It's a lot different from being back in the day where, and I think this still stands true. I say it all the time. You never know what eyes or what ears are going to be at a show or watching you on the internet, or wherever, where you're going to get that moment of, hey, I don't know, Bill Burr. I don't know why I said Bill Burr was first comedian. He's seen you on a podcast and loved you, and now he wants you to open for him across the country.
1000%. Well, and it's one of those things like I was saying, like ready to be ready. They say this, and I think it's in The Artist Way. I might be misquoting, but there's like a book. Like, I think that's the book. But inspiration finds those who are working. Because and I used to do this all the time when my Reiki practitioners that sound like Mickey Mouse would just yell at me for like being so hard on myself. But like whatever magic you have to share with the world, you have whatever gift you have to put out, it's only going to find you when you're working.
Yeah.
Right. You can be like the most amazing musician, the most amazing comedian, and if you could be at home with all these amazing ideas and you could know you're the greatest, but unless you're out there putting yourself in the ring, no one's gonna find you. So you have to just, yeah. And a big thing I've learned too, like just being in the industry, is like, and I tell people this too, is like, I mean, it's a balance, right? Because you want to like pick and you can get to a point where like you need to pick and choose your gigs a little bit more wisely in terms of what's financially feasible. Like if someone asks you to like travel 600 miles for a show this weekend, but you're not getting paid, maybe not the best deal for you, right?
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, like, you know, there is like when you first start off, you want to say yes to every opportunity, but that doesn't mean, you know, after a point, you have to realize, okay, just because it's an opportunity doesn't mean like it's an opportunity you have to say yes to. But at the same time, I think just being kind and respectful and open to any opportunity you get, because like I said earlier, the people you meet on the way up are the people you meet on the way down. So just because you're meeting this person at an open mic or they're running like a show that you deem inferior because it's at a bar and maybe it's mismanaged because it's their first show, doesn't mean that in like 5 years they're not going to be selling out arenas. You never know where anyone's going to go. So
no, 100%, you know. And people don't forget, you know, if you shit on somebody on your way up, if they happen to catch steam before you do, they're gonna remember. No, you know, so and so was an ass. I don't have time for them.
1,000%. And the work around all of that is just to be undeniable, right? To be so good that nobody can like be that petty with you. But if you're not that good, fucking don't give people a reason to be petty with you. If you're not a Chappelle, you know, if you're not like you know, Jim Gaffigan or Seinfeld or anything like that, Shane Gillis, don't give people a reason to be petty with you.
Hey, you speak of Shane Gillis, man. There's a lot of people kicking themselves right now, you know, because they tried to shut him down early, and now he's like one of the biggest things out there.
Just sold out like what, 80,000 seats almost?
Yeah.
He broke a Guinness record, which is like great, good for him.
Yeah.
And he's just like down to earth, regular dude. You know?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things is, you know, it don't matter how big you are or, you know, how big you get or anything like that. Just always remember who you are, you know.
1,000%. Yeah.
I know we're getting close to time here, but I do want to ask you one of the things I'm always curious about. When you do a show, are you one to kind of hang out and mingle with the people that are there if they want to come up and talk to you and chat with you?
Yeah, I think it depends on the show, right? Like if I do a set and I feel like, oh man, I ate ass, I'm probably out. Because then I feel awkward standing there, like, you know, because people will come up and be like, to it, like you'll be standing talking to a comic on the show, and like someone will come up to the person you're talking to and just be like, you were my favorite, and like you're right there, and then they'll turn and be like, you were funny too, or they'll just be like, thank you.
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, you know, don't quit your day job.
No, seriously. So I think it depends on the show and how it went. But also sometimes I'm never against it, but a lot of times I have to, like, you know, God willing, if I'm lucky enough, I'm booked and I have one show and then I'm on to the next show and I can't actually stay for the end of the show. So God willing, that's always the case. And then, like, as much as I would love to, I can't stay. But if I can stay and like the show went well, I'm more than happy to. And like, even if I didn't do great, but I'm hosting, then I have to stay till the end. But if I didn't have to stay till the end and I didn't feel great about it, then I'm just like, peace. So
sneaking out the back door.
I am very, very hard on myself though. So like, I'm like the type, unless like I remember like seeing a quote or something about Chris Farley and his like comedy coach telling him to like kill him with laughter. And I very much like feel in that camp where it's like, unless I feel like they're dying from laughing, I feel like a failure. And my boyfriend does stand up too. And he's always reminding me, he's like, what are you talking about? You did fine. You were fine. So I'm like, no, they didn't. They had time to breathe. I didn't do great. So
You did fine. What do you mean
yeah,
I did fine? Just fine?
no, absolutely. As a woman, I know what fine means. Fine isn't fine. Fine is miserable.
I grew up with 4 sisters and all female cousins. I was the only boy. I'm no dummy. I speak woman.
Yeah, you know exactly what it means.
Yeah.
Oh man, my favorite thing too is like once you're like, when you're dating and you're with a guy and they know your signs. I love to just over stupid things just be like, like you just make a face. Like I feel like I get to like control driving because like when if he drives like the whole time I'm just like I don't have to say anything. I just have to make faces and I feel like a queen. Like I just get close to he's like nothing. He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." Like holding on to your life.
My girlfriend does that, and I'm like, everything's going to be all right. We're going to make it. You just ran over the rumble strips. Yeah, I know. Like I'm still on the road. It's fine.
Don't fucking tell me everything's going to be fine. I could still die of a heart attack.
No. So what's that like for you, with your boyfriend being a comedian as well? Do you guys bounce stuff off of each other and
Yeah, I mean we do sometimes, and it's funny because we both have such different styles, like he's killing it, like he's at the top of his game, he's like touring, like he's like he's doing it for a living, but like we'll write jokes together every now and then, but it's always random, like we're just up late at night drunk maybe and we're joking and then we're like, oh, that's a funny idea, and then he's going on something or I'm going on something, like shit, get the notes out, and then hopefully it's legible the next morning, and if it is, yay. But I don't know, it's fun, it's really fun, I like being with someone that's like in comedy too, because they get it, because it's like it's hard, because it's like you're out late just about every night, with a lot of dudes, because there's a lot of dudes in comedy, and so I think it's hard for people that aren't in that industry to really understand. So he gets it and he's super supportive, because there's a lot of times where I'm like, I'm tired, I just worked, I don't want to go out. And he's like, no, we have to get better, and so it's one of my like main supports. So I love that he does me too. I do wish I was better at like taking his feedback and advice, because he was very funny. But I'm very hard-headed, and like we would joke about it. But I can say I'm sorry. I can say, man, that was misguided. I can't say the W word. W with long. I get like literally like vomit right now. I don't.
It's not good.
Can't say it. So
it's the effort that counts.
I can apologize like nobody's fucking business. You can't say no, not gonna. No, it's not gonna happen. So I just do it. But yeah, so he does have a lot of great advice and feedback, and like we'll come up with jokes together. And I'm just like, yeah, it's not my style right now. And so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I hate to cut this short. I could talk to you all night long. You're awesome.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I dig your vibe.
I would love to have you back again down the road. That's one of the coolest things about getting to do these shows is, getting to meet so many really cool people, and then down the road getting to bring them back. Because then the next time you come back, it's just like we were just shooting the shit tonight, but we really get to just shoot the shit when you come back. But before I let you go, let everybody know where they can find you at on social media, and also if you've got any upcoming shows or anything like that, so people know where they can come and find you, see you, and all that stuff.
You're so sweet. So my Instagram is I just got on the TikTok, but I'm a millennial, and I was raised by boomers and Gen like from the 40s. I'm behind. Okay, so I don't even know. I don't know the TikTok. I don't know how to use it. But my Instagram is my first name, so it's Hannah HANNAHA 650. So Hannah HANNAH 6A. Oh fuck, I said it wrong. 650. So Hannah palindrome Hannah with an A 650. That's my Instagram. That's the best way to catch me because I'll always post like in my stories, you know, where I'm going to be at for shows. But I also run, right now it's quarterly. I want to get it back to monthly, but I run a comedy show where comedians perform and then we read their astrology chart after. So it's very like tarot, very hippie, very like woo-woo vibes. But like I said, like hippie in the true sense of like, just be fucking cool, bro. Just be
cool.
Yeah, no, for real. But it's called, and that's on Instagram too. It's called New Moon Comedy Show. And so our next show, my birthday is October 10th. Our next show is October 9th. Ooh. So come celebrate.
Yeah, my birthday weekend too.
Yeah. Are you a Libra too? Did you just say?
Yeah, October 10th.
Are you October 10th too?
Are you really the 10th?
Oh no, fuck with you. Are you the 10th?
Yeah, I'm the 10th.
Oh my god! Libra, I love that. Yes, I'm the 10th.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, twins.
Yes. I love it. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, awesome. And for those of you guys who are illiterate like I am, if you're following us already, awesome. Thank you. If you're not following us, shame on you. Go follow us because I've tagged Hannah and everything, and I'll have to get on our TikTok and follow you over there, and I'll put a post up and tag you there as well so people know where to find you and how to find you. I try to make it easy for the folks because Lord knows I'm a big dumb animal. So
you're amazing because I don't know how to find people on TikTok. I literally just got on it. So embarrassing. I was bragging to my girlfriends earlier. I was like, I have 49 followers. I'm kind of a big deal.
That's awesome. No, I even stumbled across your YouTube channel, which made me laugh. So we're following you there, and I tagged the YouTube channel on this live tonight as well. So
you're amazing. Thank you.
I try to do a little bit of homework, but
you're great. You're great. This is so much fun.
No, guys, make sure you go follow Hannah. Go check her out. If you're in the Texas area, if you're in the Houston area, it's a very big area. And I know I've got friends out there in Houston. So go see Hannah and be like, hey, Glick sent me.
I would love that. Oh, my God. That'd be so cool. I know all the
really cool. But, thank you guys for watching and hanging out with us tonight. Hannah, you are amazing. Can't wait to have you back again. Tune in tomorrow night. What is Wally doing? Wally's doing Speedway Stories. Wes is back tomorrow night. Wes has been on a few times. So if you guys are into the motorsports world, Wes is back. Wes is awesome. Then Friday night, we will be more than likely streaming our boys, the Lazy Shaman show from their channel onto ours like we always do. Saturday, I'll be doing double duty if I can get Cash convinced to do his wrestling show. Because we've got big things going on in wrestling, and he's being lazy. And then, of course, Saturday night, we're back doing our shenanigans and bullshit and fuckery, and then we start all over again next week. Yay! So if you're not already, go ahead and check us out, bio.link/Nonsensical Network. I said that. All of our social media is there. You can see the shows live, and you can listen on the podcast and platform. So appreciate y'all listening. Hannah, thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
Absolutely. With that being said, thank you for watching Glick's Comedy Lounge right here on the Nonsensical Network. A little comedy unleashed. And we're going to hit some buttons and hope for the best. Oh, yeah, what am I playing tonight? A couple weeks back, I had Brandon Jones on the House of Music. So we're gonna leave out of here with a little party. Brandon Jones. Hit some buttons and hope for the best.
Everybody get on, going on out along like a runaway freight train. Party right on time. Everybody feeling fine. Looks like a party. Looks like we got here right on time. Everybody feeling
Oh,